2020 was, in a lot of respects, a garbage year. It's a year when the world was hobbled by a massive freaking global pandemic, which killed a lot of people and left a lot of people out of work, and which will be, frankly, still continuing into this new year. Yes, lots of places outside the United States have it more under control than we do. Yes, there are vaccines out there now, but certainly things are not even going to be getting into remotely resembling normalcy until, I would guess, bare minimum September, fall 2020, the back quarter of 2020, Northern Hemisphere fall. Anime was impacted by this as well. A lot of shows got delayed by a quarter or more, and in the US at least, theatrical releases for anime films got delayed, if not canceled outright, in most, if not all, markets. The last film I got to see in theaters before the lockdown was an anime film. It was a screening of My Hero Academia: Heroes Rising. And since then, we have not had the option in Oregon to watch any of the other anime films that have come out this year. I had been looking forward to watching Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel Part 3, and the screening was scheduled to come out not only in the middle of an upswing of cases, but also right when the governor put the state on a increased lockdown, which means theaters were closed anyway. This is also all not helped by the film not being available for streaming or also even viewing in drive-in theaters. So, believe me, I'd have driven out to Newburgh to the 99W drive-in, given the choice. And for EVA Part 4, if that's an option, I will take it. But anyway, still, in spite of all of this, we had some amazing anime come out this year on television, and I want to share a few of my favorites. Now, my usual caveats here apply for all lists. And so if you're new to my lists, let me give this a quick rundown. This list is not ranked. This is in no particular order. It is not based on when the shows aired. It is not based on personal preference. It is based by in what order they came to mind. And also, not being included on this list doesn't mean I didn't like it. I didn't get a chance to finish Brave New Animal before I started this list. And, I haven't watched Great Pretender yet. My list of shame is legion. So if just because a show does not make this list doesn't mean I do not like it. Doesn't mean, and just because I haven't gotten around to watching it doesn't mean I chose not to watch it because I didn't think I would like it, or that it's not my cup of tea. There are shows like Demon Slayer, which are absolutely my cup of tea, and it's just I haven't gotten around to them. Japan Sinks 2020 feels like it would absolutely be my thing, particularly since I read the novel, but considering this past garbage year, a show about a cataclysm at that level felt like something I wanted to give a miss because I'm not in the right headspace for it. So, even in spite of all of that, there are plenty of shows on my list to talk about and so it was a bit of a tough decision to narrow it down to 5, but here are my 5. Number 1, Akudama Drive. If you've been watching my show for a while, you've been very familiar with my RPG recommendation videos, where I give a list of anime or video games and pair them off with RPGs for those who want to get into tabletop role-playing and are looking for recommendation based on their works of choice. Akudama Drive is one of the shows which is inspiring me to flip the script on the concept for an upcoming project. It is an anime series that greatly fits the type of cyberpunk that you don't see much in anime but tend to see more often in role-playing, what is colloquially known as pink mohawk cyberpunk. The idea is that this is cyberpunk that isn't subtle. It's not gloomy, brooding noir. It's loud, it's out, it's in your face, while still having something to say. And on top of it, without giving too much away, without spoiling the last few episodes, it is a show that actually has something to say that's relevant to current events. Less related to the pandemic and more related to police brutality and cruelty. And I will leave it at that, since the show, as of this recording, has only recently ended, and I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet and are inspired to do so based on this video. So, likewise, I ask you, do not spoil the ending in the comments. In any case, this is a show that does a tremendous job of juggling its ensemble cast and bouncing them off each other in very interesting ways, which also makes the show fit as a recommendation for those who are looking for cyberpunk media to influence them playing tabletop role-playing games in terms of managing your adventuring party in this regard, or rather your group of players in this regard, outside of the normal avenues. Number 2, keep your hands off Azokin. A while back I reviewed Shirobako and stated how much I loved the show because it scratched my itch for media about how things are made or done. It hit that appeal to my childhood reading, digging up dinosaurs or how a book is made, and seeing how dinosaurs ended up in museums or how children's books like the one I was reading ended up in my hands. What Keep Your Hands Off Azokin does is it does that, and then combines it with a great way of expressing the sense of joy and wonder that animation can bring. From the imaginationscapes that Midori and Tsubame create, to that great moment when their first animated short is screened at the school and the audience is blown away in multiple senses by the animation. It's just glorious. Now, for a couple years now, I've managed to get my parents into anime, and we do weekly-ish anime screenings, and we've included shows that a lot of people wouldn't normally put on their list of shows they'd feel comfortable showing their parents, like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. In any case, Azokin was one of the shows that we enjoyed utterly and was great to watch in this hell year we've been living through. And indeed, it's gotten some mainstream attention beyond us in terms of our very small little circle. Not that we're particularly mainstream. With the New York Times including Azokin the list of their favorite television series overall of the year, not just limited to animation, marking possibly the first time where they've discussed an anime that wasn't on Netflix, a service that they're already subscribed, presumably their critics are already subscribed to. Now, I'm not holding my breath for an Emmy nomination by any stretch of the imagination, but if we got one, I'd certainly be happy. Number 3, My Next Life as a Villainess. Speaking of shows that I watched with my parents, but one which didn't get to the level of mainstream recognition that Azokin got, My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, was my introduction to my parents to isekai anime, and we were all utterly enjoyed with this show. The writing was incredibly sharp, giving our protagonist Bakurita a sense of being denser than a black hole over how people feel about her, without it coming across as utterly contrived. She is laser focused on a particular concept, a particular goal, and consequently other things fall more into the back burner, we should say. In short, the comedy of the show is uproarious, and it really sends up the concepts that are common to otome games and a lot of shoujo manga tropes very well, but without depending on existing knowledge of those genres in order for the jokes to work. And best of all, we're getting a second season, so I am definitely looking forward to that as well. Number 4, Fruits Basket Season 2. Season 1 of Fruits Basket went through a lot of the ground that was covered in the original Fruits Basket TV series, and I watched back in high school. So Season 2 was something that I was really looking forward to. Since I hadn't read the manga, this is territory that was unfamiliar to me, and I was absolutely not disappointed. Season 2 of Fruits Basket gets into more of the cycles of abuse and working to break those cycles than I had expected, particularly considering the first season. In particular, this season also made Toru Honda much less of a passive figure than she was in Season 1. Sure, Toru did stuff in Season 1, but there is almost more focus on, in terms of the narrative impact of Toru Honda on her friend's life, based on, Toru Honda made people's life better by just being a nice, sweet person. Here, we're seeing that, no, Toru recognizes the cycles of abuse that her friends in the Soma family are in, and also that she has inherited her mother's determination, her steel, that gives her the strength to take action to break these cycles of abuse, to help get her friends into a better, safer situation and free them from the crap they're having to deal with as part of the Soma family. Much in the same way that Toru's mother helped Toru's existing friends that she had before the start of the series. And I am incredibly looking forward to seeing how this all develops in Season 3. Number 5, Tonikawa, Over the Moon for You. This year had some great suspense mystery anime that I really enjoyed, but with all the tension of this hell year, a lot of what I was looking for in a show was some heartwarming comedy. What I needed was Kenjiro Hata. So, Tonikawa, Over the Moon for You was exactly what I was looking for. The protagonist, Nasa, has all of Hayate's go-get-him confidence and practical skills, also combined with Hayate's kind of lack of people skills, but without the same level of bad luck. The woman who Nasa marries, Tsukasa, has the charm, good looks, and grace of Hinagiku, combined with Maria's culinary prowess, and Nagi's enthusiasm with geeky things, combined with the actual street smarts and intelligence of ordinary life, and restraint of what it takes to live on a budget that many of Hayate's friends through the academy and through Nagi's peers lack. Together, they all make for an amazing couple, and the show knows this by at no point taking any serious effort whatsoever to rock the boat on the marriage. Tsukasa and Nasa are two people who love each other very much and have gotten married because of this, and Hata recognizes that you can have plenty of good comedy within a stable romantic relationship, and you don't need to do any of that stupid moonlighting rule concept of, the narrative dramatic tension or comedic tension in a relationship comes from potentially breaking up the protagonists, and it's more important to do will they or won't they, or that sort of thing. No, you could get plenty of narrative comedy and all sorts of fun stuff within a relationship that stays a relationship. Also, this show has so much hand-holding and kissing you have no idea. Why is it that this year we also had a show about people who are fighting aliens to protect the libidos of the Japanese people and punching them so hard they end up, or attacking them with powers so strong that they end up naked, and this show, the one with barely any nudity at all, is the one that has all the kissing and hand-holding, and the one that has all the nudity has barely any hand-holding and absolutely no kissing. Anywho, Tonikawa is one of those shows that is based on an ongoing series, so hopefully it will get another season, but unlike Furuba and My Next Life is Unbillness, there have been no second season announced. Fingers crossed. So those are my 5 picks for this past year of 2020. If there's anything I missed that I did not talk about that you think is worth watching or worth checking out, please share your recommendations in the comments. Again, just because I didn't mention the show didn't mean I don't intend to watch it. Also doesn't mean it's not something I'm interested in either, even if it's something I did not watch. So anything you mention in the list below would make for a very reasonable recommendation list for me for future viewing. So, and after all, if I've learned nothing else, it's that my to-do list or to-watch list, as long as it is clearly not long enough. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe. And also consider backing my Patreon. Patreon backers get episodes up to 1 week early of this show and any future Let's Plays. Also, please consider backing my Ko-fi. Toss me a few bucks also helps support the show, and it's not a monthly obligation or anything like that.